All right, we're diving straight into a full disclosure on a really critical security flaw. This isn't just some abstract technical problem, it's a direct and immediate threat to anyone using the n8n automation platform. Let's get right to it.
First things first, the severity. This vulnerability, CVE 2025-68613, has a CVSS score of 9.9 out of 10. You don't see scores this high very often. It signifies a near maximum, absolutely critical risk to any system that's exposed.
So what is it? Well, it's a flaw in the n8n platform that essentially opens a door for remote code execution. And let me be clear, we're not talking about a minor bug here. We are talking about a complete system takeover.
Okay, so in this first section, we're going to establish immediate situational awareness. We'll break down exactly what this threat is and what makes it so uniquely dangerous. You need to know this stuff right now.
So what is n8n, anyway? For those who don't know, it's this incredibly powerful open-source automation tool. People love it. It's often called the Lego of automation because you can just visually snap together different services and APIs to build really complex workflows, all without writing a single line of code. It's super convenient.
But that convenience, well, that's precisely where the danger is hiding. The flaw allows any authenticated user, and I mean even a user with the most basic low-level permissions, to completely break out of the intended workflow environment and start executing commands directly on the server that's hosting it.
So how do we get to that terrifying 9.9 score? Let's break it down. The attack complexity is low. It's easy to pull off. Privileges required are also low. You just need to be logged in. And it requires zero user interaction, which makes it incredibly stealthy. But the real killer here, the one that pushes the score way up, is scope changed. This means the exploit doesn't just mess up the n8n application, it escapes and compromises the entire host system.
Now, let's get into the weeds a bit. Let's look at the anatomy of this escape. How does an attacker actually turn a simple feature into a full-blown system command?
The absolute heart of the problem is n8n's expression engine. See, any value you wrap in these double curly braces gets evaluated as live JavaScript code when a workflow runs. It's a fantastic feature for creating dynamic workflows, but in this case, it's also the wide-open, unlocked door for this attack. The official classification for this type of weakness is CWE 913. Now that sounds technical, but in plain English, it just means the digital jail cell, the sandbox that was supposed to contain this user-supplied code, just wasn't built strong enough. It had a hole in the wall. It's as simple as that.
Okay, here's the play-by-play of the actual attack chain. First, the attacker starts inside a simple expression. Second, they use a clever JavaScript trick to get access to a top-level function that can build new functions from plain text. Third, this gives them a path to the core Node.js process module. And just like that, they're out of the sandbox. From there, it's easy. Step 4, they load the child_process module, which exists purely to run system commands. And finally, step 5, it's game over. They can run anything they want on the server with the full permissions of the n8n service.
So, we've seen how the attack works. But what's the real-world damage? Let's talk about the impact. Because what we're looking at is a full system compromise, nothing less. This quote from Sierra Research Labs just says it all. Because of what n8n is built to do, connect all of your tools and services, a compromise here is never isolated. You're not just losing one server, you're literally handing an attacker the keys to your entire connected kingdom.
So just think about what that really means for a second. An attacker gets instant access to all the credentials n8n is using, your API keys, your database logins, your OAuth tokens, all of it. They can then modify or just completely destroy your most critical business workflows. They have a permanent foothold on your server to do whatever they want. And of course, it becomes the perfect launchpad to pivot from and start attacking the rest of your internal network.
And look, this is not a theoretical problem. Our data shows thousands of publicly exposed n8n instances online right now. The US is leading with over 7,000, but we're seeing huge numbers in Germany, France, and all over the world. Every single one of these is a potential target.
All right, this brings us to the most important section of this briefing, your defensive playbook. This is what you need to do, and you need to do it now.
The #1 top priority solution is to patch immediately. The n8n team has already released the fixes. Find the version you're running in this table and upgrade to the corresponding patched version or a newer one. This has to be your top priority.
Now look, I get it. Sometimes you can't upgrade this very second. If that's you, there are some temporary controls you can put in place to buy yourself some time. First, lock down permissions.
Only give fully 100% trusted admins the power to create or edit workflows. Second, use the principle of least privilege. Make sure the n8n's service is running as a low-privileged user, so if it does get popped, the damage is contained. And third, get it off the public internet. Put it behind a firewall, put it on a VPN, whatever it takes.
And for all you defenders and threat hunters out there, here's what you need to be looking for. On the network, that malicious JavaScript payload is going to be visible in the body of HTTP post requests. So if you can put a proxy in front of n8n and log those bodies, you'll spot the attack. On the host itself, keep an eye out for any weird child processes spawning from the main n8n process. And finally, you need to be actively scanning and fingerprinting your instances so you know which ones are vulnerable and you can get them patched first.
So, we'll end with this thought. Your automation platforms have become the central nervous system of your entire operation. They connect everything. They are incredibly powerful, there's no doubt about that. But with that power comes immense risk. So the question you really need to be asking yourself right now is, are they secure? Don't wait. Act now.